Thursday at 5 o'clock Central on ESPN3 and Husker Sports Network. It's the opening game for the AdvoCare Invitational. One of the coaches to talk about the week ahead.
Thanks. The ESPN events that we've been a part of for years now have always been excellent for us and good for our team to find out a lot about ourselves in a short amount of time. I was just talking to my friend Saul Phillips, who's at Ohio, and took him 4 overtimes to score 96 points. And that's a joke, by the way, especially after they've been writing about my offense. So, but no, I agree. So, but Saul won the 7th place game. And I said, Saul, last time we did that down in Charleston, we went to the NCAA tournament. So I think that's a good sign. But I guess my point is that regardless if you're playing in the 7th place game or the 5th place game or the championship game or whatever it might be, which at Colorado State we won the championship down in Cancun, it's great for your team because you'll see a variety of styles of play in a short amount of time. You'll have to be ready for anything, and you can't plan for what's on the other side of that bracket. You can guess and play the numbers, but at the same time, you don't know what's going to be in front of you from one day to the next. So I think it'll be a great thing. One of our young guys, one of his season goals were to win this tournament. And usually kids don't list a mid-season tournament as something that they want to champion. And so I thought that was good, and at least we got somebody thinking about it besides the coaches. Thanks, Chris.
So when the schedule came out, Thursday to December 16th was kind of viewed as a pretty defining stretch. Now that you're officially starting to get into that, how confident are you about your team's ability to handle that? And I guess has your outlook changed at all over the past 3 or 4 weeks?
A basketball coach kind of lives in this constant state of, what can we do to make ourselves better and live for the day, live for the moment, and just try and win every possession. So when you ask me if I'm confident, well, I know that what our guys can do, and I believe in our guys. So from that standpoint, I'm very confident. Now, for our ability to go out and execute things well and right, we've got a heck of a lot of work to do. And so I'm excited for the challenge. I'm excited to learn more about our team. I'm excited for us to get better. And we have no choice but to either rise to the occasion and play at a high level, or we're going to fail. We're going to lose. And that's why when you look at Central Florida, when you look at West Virginia, Marist, whoever's on the other side of the bracket, Missouri, all these guys, St. John's, of course, there's great quality in this tournament, great depth in this tournament with Wayne Tinkle's son back, Trey. Oregon State's a completely different team than they were a year ago. And so I think it's going to be a great test for our guys. And certainly this is a huge, we come back. I was just met with our staff this morning, and we come back and catch our breath and take one day off, and Boston College is looking right at us the next day. And you blink there, and you've got, I think, Creighton or Kansas or whoever it is after that. So, oh yeah, I'm looking past Michigan State and Minnesota. My bad. So I don't know. Like when my wife asks me what's going on Thursday, I say, honey, I don't know what's going on this afternoon. I mean, we truly live by the moment. You can tell, huh?
Serious question about Central Florida. Will you use tennis rackets?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We've done this at different places. I don't like the broom tennis racket trick. I like a person on a box or something like that, so you're battling human arms at top. So we're going to elevate somebody somehow. I have not figured that out yet, but it's going to happen by tomorrow afternoon when we practice.
Not a stiff.
No, I mean, he's a legitimate prospect. And so, Coach Dawkins, when he took that job, I think much like his counterpart that we've all read about here recently, I mean, sees the value of a great recruiting area and that you can build something at a university, that's in that American League is really, really good. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of schools that were in Power Fives previously. And I think that Central Florida is one of those schools that is certainly knocking on that door.
Did you make somebody at ESPN mad that you always have to play the home team?
Apparently, yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought I was pretty good to those guys, but you know, I don't know what happened. Maybe the Mexico trip, the whole Mexican experience for them was not good when we won that tournament. Maybe ratings weren't good enough on Christmas Eve. I don't know. Christmas Day. I don't even know when we played. Both maybe, but yeah, they're not happy. So, but that's okay. Life's about overcoming obstacles.
Jordy has kind of struggled.
I agree.
I guess you have been able to identify a reason for that?
I'm meeting with him I'm going to meet with him tomorrow for sure. But I've talked to him this morning already, you know, just trying to encourage him. You know, confidence is earned. And, you know, you come back and you're, you know, coming from rehab and all of a sudden things are a little quicker. And even though he's, you know, he's a quiet kid and he's always in a good mood, maybe you don't realize until he's out in a game that I don't know where his confidence level is. And I'm just, part of me says that that confidence level is not where it should be. And so we need to be able to, you know, get him. I don't know if you noticed, but we've tried to go in there now a few nights in a row, and it hasn't gone well for us to start the game. And so we're going to keep going in there to him, and we just got to get him, you know. That's what I need to find out. You want the other side of the floor. You want, you know, this is where we think you're better. This is where your numbers show better. You know, do we not go into you so early? Figure it out from there.
7'6" is not ideal for anybody, but against an actual.
Do you know how tall that is, by the way?
It's extreme.
Yeah, so I'm 6 foot, all right? So that's 18 more inches and more length. That's. Am I reaching that high? I don't know. That's big.
But going against another center that, you know, is comparable in size, I mean, do you think that might
help him? Yeah. Taco Fall is the #1 defensive player in the country. That doesn't help anybody when you're struggling.
Game plan for Central Florida, obviously. You talked about this already, but how much do you game plan for the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, we met on that too. That's a good question. I think that one is you put your effort into to Central Florida. At the same time, I think you look at your side of the bracket. We know that whatever, you know, Marist is going to do what Marist does, and West Virginia is going to do what West Virginia does. So it might not kill us in some lead-up drills. For instance, we know there's a press team like West Virginia. Maybe we can do something with our full-court ball handling that replicates their pressure. That's just a ball handling, making a decision drill that we would do daily, and just our skill development stuff as a team that replicates more like maybe instead of 4-on-4, we do it 4-on-5 or 4-on-6. So you get a real feeling what West Virginia feels like. And although you're not talking about West Virginia, you're working on a smidge of West Virginia, something like that. But you're not going to overdo it. And if there's something funky somebody's doing, you know. Last year we saw Virginia Tech, but they hadn't shown any matchup zone, you know, and all of a sudden they go matchup zone, which we hadn't seen, and it just kind of gave us some hiccups. But that's good for you. You learn about yourself. Now we lost the game. I don't like that, but you know, you never know what somebody's going to throw at you. So we've got guys, you know, pilfering through last year's, you know, teams and looking at what maybe they've done here or there or the other where. Defensively to see if they're, or offensively to see if there's something tricky out there.
Got an update on Thomas' availability?
Yeah, he's day to day, you know, and he probably shouldn't have gone against St. John's, but we had 2 guards with 2 fouls, and so I put him out there, and it wasn't really his, you know, he wasn't really prepared, even though he banged his first 3, you know, which at that point I was happy to see anyone. Alice Miles could have gone out there and banged a 3, and I would have played her. You know, she's 87 and doesn't guard the ball worth a dang, but at the same time, I would have played her.
Is it just a bruised tailbone? Or?
Yeah, he just, if you saw it, he fell right on it. Yeah. And it's funny because my son is a 7th grader, and my wife came home from that game, immediately went to Amazon and bought him a girdle, you know, one of those compression shorts that are padded, because she's like, he's in the air all the time like that. So, yeah, that's just, you know, and there's really nothing you can do. I've talked to, I don't know, I mean, can you acupuncture that to get more blood there? I don't know. Electroshock therapy, put him in some water. Anything else for the good of the order?
Tim,
Yes, sir.
We talked about Copeland and Gills, you know,
yeah.
yesterday. Just having the chance to have 4 or 5 guys who can score 20 points in a game, what that means to you guys going forward.
Well, the first thing is whatever size that gorilla was on their backs falling off, you could hear a mile away. So that was good, just to have those guys relax a little bit. And even Isaac said after the game, man, I needed that, Coach. And because I said, boy, you needed that. Good job. And he goes, yeah, I did need that, And these guys know what's expectations on them, and they want to help. They want to follow through and be go-to guys. And so to see Anton, who hasn't really played much live basketball, be able to step in and knock down shots, we know what he can do defensively, how he can help us. And I think it was really good for those two. And if we can do that consistently and take some of the pressure off Glenn and then kind of live through some of James's ups and downs he's going to have, which we have talked about, obviously that can really help. And then we got to get Jordy going. And if we can get some of that stuff going, you feel like you've got 4 or 5 viable guys that can go out and get you, Glenn, can get you 30. Now, Copeland already got 30. And then some of those other guys, can get you 20 or there's not Palmer going right can get you 30, and that's a pretty high level of scoring in major college basketball to be able to go out there and do that. James has already had 20 something on whoever, yeah, and made it look simple. He did it in a short amount of time. I didn't even play him that much, so we need that though. We need consistency, and that's what we're looking for. I think that's what everybody's asking. Are you going to be consistent? Can you depend on that? And there's a $64,000 question. I'm hoping the answer is yes. How come everybody showed up suddenly? What's going on?